Summer Game Fest has brought us a lot of games that we wanted to talk about, and some of them are in our theme. As you may know from our channel, we share a lot of games that are in the fantasy realm or something that has some sort of fantasy in them. So in today's video, we wanted to talk about those types of games, share our thoughts. Some of them are of different genres, and there's a lot of things that we are very excited to talk about. Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Vashal and together with Armea, this is Taleplay, and this is a discussion video. We wanted to share a little bit of our thoughts of the games that are coming soon for a multitude of platforms that we are really excited about, that are more in the fantasy spectrum or have a little bit of fantasy in them that we wanted to share about. So we're really excited about this one, and if you want to be up to date with more content like this, more fantasy oriented with games that are related in that, reviews, updates, listings, and so much more, discussions like this, stay tuned to our channel, subscribe and turn on the post notification bell so that you will be notified every time we post something new. And of course, if you like the video, giving us a thumbs up doesn't hurt at all. So thank you very much for watching this video. Let's get into the list.
The first one that we think that really looks interesting that was shown in Summer Game Fest is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Honestly, we did expect that there will be Prince of Persia remake, but we didn't expect that it's gonna be 2D Metroidvania and it's gonna be so different from the old one. The characters, the protagonist itself, it's completely different, and it's really a fresh start for newcomers who haven't played the game. And you can see that they came back to the original roots of Prince of Persia, which is 2D, and I bet there is a lot of people who's really excited about this game.
One of the biggest releases on Summer Game Fest was, of course, Mortal Kombat 1, a very anticipated game and, in our opinion, one of the greatest fighting franchises that you can play, and it's available on pretty much everything. This game is coming in October. I cannot wait to play this game. I really enjoyed the last reiterations of this franchise. I know that they have tried to do a couple of resets, but this time around we're doing another reset and we're starting fresh with number 1. Of course, spoiler alert, Liu Kang becomes a god and he is able to change time for good this time, and it's gonna be interesting to see the characters take a different take. We're gonna see them in different scenarios and it's really exciting to see them. The combat looks a little bit much more flush than the 11th one. I'm really excited. I think the story is gonna be a banger. The new cameo system is gonna be an interesting thing and an interesting thing. It does look a little bit complicated, but overall it's pretty much like a tag kind of system where you use your momentum to use as a combo for one of your teammates to hop in and help you continue your combo for you, which makes fights a lot more intense and more interesting to see. Other than that, book up your date because it's gonna be an exciting year for fighting games, since we as well have a good release this year from Street Fighter franchise.
This one is really close to my heart, and I played this game in early access and I can honestly tell you I had a great time playing this one. Of course, the one that I'm talking about is Baldur's Gate 3. It's gonna be released soon, which is gonna be August 31, 2023. And if you have been hesitating to get this game from the past, probably now is the time to get this one. You might never know, it might increase the price once the initial release. And one thing that I wanna say without spoiling anything in Baldur's Gate is the characters over here. They have their personality, your companion. You will get to know them with their backstory, and while playing as your character, you really feel that you are part of the world. It's a lot of choices over here and romantic interests as well. It's really interesting, the whole story. So yeah, as I've said, I don't want to spoil anything in Baldur's Gate 3 because there's a lot of things going on in this game, and one thing that I want to say that I recommend this game. I honestly enjoy this. So if you love original Divinity Sin, now is the great time to buy this game and try it out once the game releases.
The next game that came as a surprise because of the fact that it was announced that it is an Unreal Engine game. This game is called Sandland. The story and the art was made by Akira Toriyama, as well a very famous artist who shared their story with a lot of fans, and I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z. So if you enjoy Dragon Ball Z, this game might be piquing your interest. It's very interesting to see that the developers have taken this approach. They use this kind of engine to create this kind of game, and it looks kind of interesting. You have some sort of mechanized vehicles, you have tanks, you have mechs that you control. You also have a little bit of combat here and there, and everything seems to be an open world. I personally haven't watched the anime or read the mangas, but for those who are fans of the franchise or have been keeping up with all this, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be stoked to hear that there's gonna be a game made for you. So that's pretty much what I want to say. Of course, it's an interesting take, and I'm curious to see what thoughts do you have about this game. Have you ever thought that an Unreal Engine could actually produce this kind of visuals? For me, it was a big surprise, and I'm pretty sure it was for a lot of other people. So let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to know, what do you think?
Another one that caught our attention in Summer Game Fest, I might butcher the name, but we will put it here anyway in the bottom screen so you can see the real name of this game. It's called Lispanga the Time Shift Warrior. This game seems really interesting because you use time for you to have another double of you that fights alongside with you, and it can be pretty chaotic as time goes by, as if shown in the trailer, and it's a hack and slash tactical action. It kind of resembles of Hades, especially the visual, but of course we're not gonna compare that because in general it's a different concept. So yeah, this one seems pretty unique, even though there is a lot of other genres that has been released in the past when it comes to time. But of course, this one seems like a roguelike, tactical hack and slash game, which we never have. Usually, we only have for puzzle. So yeah, it's a fresh take for this kind of genre. And I bet there is a lot of people interested and excited to try out this game, probably including you who's watching this video. So that said, Lispanga the Time Shift Warrior might be released this year. We don't know because it only said 2023. It might release at fall or maybe next year. We'll see, and of course, we're gonna update you about that one. Another one on this list that really piqued my interest. This game is like combination of Doom and Warhammer Vermintide. The game is called Witchfire. This one really looks interesting, and the gameplay as well looks really fun. You use a gun to defeat enemies, and at the same time you cast spell and you fight this monster which also use spell. And yeah, there is really not much to say since the title is called Witchfire. Probably you are some sort of witch hunter, and these monsters that you are fighting are witches. Well, we just gotta wait and see what this game has to offer. But of course, I cannot wait to see another gameplay of this game. Witchfire will be released on September 20, 2023, which is gonna be on early access. Hopefully, it's gonna be a pleasant experience for an early access game.
Another one that really piqued our interest is called Banishers Ghost of New Eden because of the visuals and the fact that it looks very similar to Vampire. It was another game that I really loved, and it does look very much the same, although the whole theme is really interesting. You play as this Irish guy that seems to have a connection with an American Indian spirit that seems to be following you around, and you're trying to banish other spirits. It seems to take like some sort of inspiration from Middle Earth, Shadow of War, and Shadow of Mordor, and I really like that. I really like the visuals, and the combat looks really cool, and there's not much to say, just that I'm really anticipating this game. I never seen it before, and seeing it now in this whole Summer Game Fest, I'm really excited to see that a game that really piqued my interest is out there. So I'm looking forward for this one. I think it's gonna be really cool. Probably it's gonna be a linear experience, or if not, it's gonna have a hybrid kind of open world. We will see when this game releases, as we do not have yet a full release date, and all we know is gonna be coming out sometime in 2023. Another game that is gonna have a full release is gonna be Path of Exile 2. If you've been up to date with our channel, you know very well we enjoy action RPGs. We have been playing Diablo and we continue to play Diablo, and Path of Exile 2 is very much the same. It's just that it's more branched out as being an MMO. There's a lot of things that this game delivers that maybe Diablo doesn't, and when it comes to that, one of the things that comes to mind is its arching skill tree, which is very complex, and there's no other game out there that does a really good job at branching out. But of course, if you want something much more simpler, this game might not be for you. Visually it looks very good, and I think it's gonna be a really interesting competitor to Diablo 4, especially the fact that this game is gonna be free to play. For those who enjoy soul-like game, there's another game that has been showcased and it is highly anticipated, and that is Lies of P. It is the altered story of Pinocchio, and there's a lot of combat happening, and this game seems to be very similar to Bloodborne. If you enjoy Bloodborne, that is only available on PlayStation currently, definitely do check this game out because it's gonna come out soon, and you can play the demo, which is quite lengthy and it's really cool. So it's very much alert. The combat feels very great like Bloodborne did, and if you enjoy this kind of games, you're definitely not gonna be disappointed. The steampunk kind of vibe really resonates with a lot of people, including myself, and visually really looks very, very interesting, very, very fairy tale like, and it's super exciting to see more soul-like games for those who love this kind of genre. I personally don't dabble that much with them, but that doesn't mean I don't like them. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. Super cool. I think it's gonna be awesome and people will love it. And yeah, this game is gonna come out on 19 September 2023. So go check that one out and go check out the demo.
Another anticipated game for this year is called Alan Wake 2. Honestly, I haven't played the first Alan Wake, but seeing the trailer, it gives me this vibe of Resident Evil. This game is more about detective, and as far as I know, it's more about psychological horror, and probably it's the same thing here in Alan Wake 2. As what is shown in the trailer, you seem to fight some supernatural forces over here, but we don't know if it's the real thing or it's just your mind playing tricks on you. I also want to point out that you can play two characters here in Alan Wake 2. Either you can play as the protagonist, of course, his name is Alan, and an FBI agent named Saga. Alan Wake 2 will be released on October 17, 2023 on Xbox X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC.
Personally, I can say that I have a soft touch for Warhammer 40k, and especially the game that I'm talking about right now is called Space Marine, and this is the second one. So really exciting news to hear that a new Space Marine game is coming out. This is a hack and slash kind of game, and this time around you're gonna be playing co-op, so that's gonna be great. You're gonna be able to play with a couple of your friends. You get to choose how your Space Marine will look like, and they carry out their own stories and hack through dozens and dozens of orcs. So it's gonna be super cool, and I'm really excited to see the sequel finally coming out, and it really looks spectacular. Lots of explosive moment with cool tricks and combat, violent executions, and so much more. So I heard that a lot of people weren't really talking that much about this one, but personally I really liked Space Marine. I didn't play and finish entirely the whole game, but I really enjoyed the moments that I spent with it, and I want to make a return before I go in the second one, which I probably will play with Armea. So if she's interested in Warhammer 40k and she wants to play this one, and if it's narratively driven, I'm more and more eager to try this game out because I really think it's a cool world and it's worth exploring. So if you enjoy this kind of games, of course you can definitely play the prequel and other games from Warhammer. You have Total War, you have Vermintides, and so much more. So really, really cool, and yeah, good for them. Warhammer 40k is a great franchise. Not all of them are, you know, a hit, and yeah, for sure this one might be something that will be be somebody's cup of tea, and that person might be me.
Another one on this list, if you love third-person shooter, Remnant 2 might be the right game for you. Not only that, you can tell that it's really good visually. You can tell the upgraded version of Remnant 2 compared to the first one, because honestly, Vasharal and I, we played the Remnant 1, and we can say that we did enjoy the combat itself. But at the same time, when it comes to story, it's very simple, it's very light. I honestly don't care that much with the story, but hopefully in Remnant 2, they focus more on the story, because honestly, that's what the game makes it much more fun to play. And if they nailed it, I can say that it can be a good soul-like game that is worth checking out. Remnant 2 will be released next month, which is gonna be on July 25, 2023 on PlayStation 5, Xbox X and S, and PC.
And of course, the most anticipated game from this list is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And of course, Zira needs to destroy every time I talk, and we cannot get rid of her whenever we do so. I'm gonna keep this one because you have to know what are all the struggles that we go through, and honestly, if you stick around until now, I appreciate it. But yeah, going forward, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the second or sequel of the Final Fantasy VII remake. It continues the story, what happens to Cloud and its companions, and it's really cool to see a little bit of glimpse of gameplay, because we didn't expect that Square Enix is gonna be bringing out so much content in the last couple of months. We have so many other games that are coming from Square Enix, and especially this one, it has been a big surprise. And yeah, sure, there were some leaks that were talking about this one, but it's really nice to know that this game is coming out next year, somewhere in the spring of 2024. Super excited, looks great, and I can't wait to see what other people think about this one. I personally didn't play the remakes, I didn't play any kind of Final Fantasy games, but I do want to play the series, as I said, multiple times on this channel. Super exciting, super nice to see that this franchise gets more time with Cloud, because I know that the 7th one is very much appreciated by a large number of fans, and sure, for some other people might be 8 or 9 or something like that, or 6. So I think I am blabbering too much, so I'll leave you with that, and I hope that everybody else is having a great time. That being said, we also have a bonus. So we left this game for last because it's a little bit more different than the other games, but of course it's still fantasy, and this game is called Palworld. It is a Pokemon kind of game where the Pokemons itself wield guns. Yep, they wield guns, and they will do a lot of damage. It's a lot more different than any other Pokemon game, but it still takes that art style, and some of the Pokemons over there, or whatever they're called, they really resemble the original ones. And what really surprised me is the fact that this game is gonna be on Switch. So I'm really curious what Nintendo thinks about this one. Of course, they were always against guns and violence and stuff like that, so seeing Pokemon doing this kind of stuff is kind of funny, and the reaction at the show was really hilarious. People were laughing and having a good time, and it really piqued everybody's interest because of the fact that it tries a little bit of the things that we love with a little bit of twist. So that's really cool, and if you're interested in that kind of games, you definitely want to check this one out. And what's really cool about this one, you don't have to play it only on Nintendo, you can play it on PC and other consoles as well.
We wanted to say thank you so much for sticking around, and we wanted to let you know that we have Discord server and we're doing monthly giveaway over there. So if you're interested, we are giving away Plague Tale Requiem and Diablo 4. Joining in is very simple. All you're gonna do is join in our Discord server and giving this video a like and comment what is your thoughts about this list. Is there anything that you are really hyped? Let us know in the comments below.
So we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for choosing to watch our content instead of actually watching somebody else's. I honestly appreciate the fact that you took the time to go through our list, and we're really excited to hear from you and what you think about the list that we picked that are more fantasy related. I know that we forgot one of them, so I'm curious if you found out which one, and if you write it down in the comments. I'm not gonna say it, but it has magic things. So now that being said, if you want to support us, giving us a like helps us reach more people with our list and other content that we share. Of course, we share fantasy related content. We do all kinds of stuff from reviews to talking about other games, sharing news, doing list recommendations of games, and so much more that we personally think are in the fantasy realm. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, doing so helps us a lot. We really want to reach 1,000 subscribers, and it would mean the world to us if you could support us in that way. And of course, if you want to be up to date with other future content that we share, turning on the bell notification helps us to notify you every time we post something new. And that's all for today. I hope that you enjoy this kind of discussion